Oh, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? We've heard that saying.
But there is such a thing as free advice. Through our partnership with Certified Transmission, we hook our viewers up with the information they're after.
Yeah, his first visit of 2016. Peter Fink from Certified Transmission. Good to see you, Peter.
Welcome back.
Great to see you guys.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good to have you here.
You have a good new year?
You know,
anything good?
Free advice. Well, you know, that means maybe I could be wrong sometimes, you know, on some of that, you know.
I don't know.
If you paid to get it checked out, you know, that's a different story.
We
But
we
free,
find you to be
know,
pretty
I mean,
reliable around here, at least
right.
guiding our viewers in the
There you
right
go.
direction.
All right, so let's
I tried to.
Let's get to this first question in 2016. It's from Kathy, and Kathy writes, it seems that since the last few bouts of bad weather, my rear view image from the camera in my 2012 Hyundai Sonata is now hazy. I'm thinking there might be some condensation inside, but when I looked at it closely, I could not see any. I've also tried wiping the lens to no avail. Any ideas what can help, or do I just need to head to the dealer?
Well, you know, rear view cameras in cars is pretty standard anymore, and it's a great feature, okay? Obviously, to be able to see what's going back, you know, with seat belts on, it's a little harder to turn around, and especially now since I'm getting older. Oh, man, it's really hard to turn, you know, and stuff. But back to the question here, you know, there's not a lot you can do on this, okay? Hyundais actually have had some problems with the earlier cameras, and I suspect this is probably one of them, okay? You're probably going to have to go to the dealer. I don't think there's really an aftermarket replacement. I haven't checked on the costs. I haven't heard what they are, so I don't know if it's a ridiculous cost for the camera or not. I'm a big fan of the sensors also. You know how they beep, okay, when you back up, okay? Those will usually even work without the camera. So it's going to be your choice how good a camera you want, if you like it, if you got used to it or not. But unfortunately, that one isn't going to have much of an adjustment or do anything, okay? And
No Windex.
no,
Right,
that'd
that's
be
on the
nice,
inside,
you know.
yeah.
It'd be nice, okay, but no, I don't think so.
Take her in.
Kyra is up next, and she writes, the thermostat in my 2010 Audi A3 sometimes works correctly and other times just hangs out on C, never passes the halfway mark to H. What do you think? Just a bad sensor?
Well, this one concerns me a little bit, okay? Usually if it's staying down on C, I don't think you're going to have a bad sensor or bad gauge, okay? I think you might have low on antifreeze, okay? If it's low, your temperature gauge isn't going to want to read right. It's going to hang up. First question I would have to follow up on this, does her heater work properly, or does sometimes it blow cold and sometimes does it blow warm? If it does that, okay, then you're definitely low on antifreeze, okay, and stuff, all right? So I would check that, have that checked. That's a simple deal. Now that system does require bleeding, okay? The European cars and a lot of even American cars anymore, it's not just as easy as pour antifreeze in, okay, and stuff, but if you do, there's a bleed valve on the engine. I don't know where it is on this particular one on an Audi, okay, and stuff, but I think you're probably low on antifreeze. A good place to start is the reservoir tank, okay? Look at it, see if it's in the two line levels. If it's empty or low, okay, let's fill it up. Maybe it'll start bleeding itself and start from there. If it does have proper antifreeze, well, it's going to need some checking, and then it could be that the temperature gauge could be bad in the dash, or it could be the sensor itself, okay? So, and sometimes a bad wire or even a computer. Unfortunately, that stuff even runs through the computer anymore, okay? And it can cause a false reading, okay?
Which was the other part of her question, or could it be a bad sensor? She's already thinking in that direction.
Yeah,
so.
don't just throw parts at it, okay? Check the antifreeze first. If it isn't, like I said, check to see if your heater's working. If it always works properly and everything, then you probably do have a sensor that's the temperature gauge, and or, like I said, they go through the computer and stuff like that. You're going to have a shop check it. They're not cheap, okay? There's no aftermarket parts. It's going to be a dealer item or a salvage yard item, okay? A used one, okay, basically.
My last vehicle, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, I couldn't get the car to warm up, and it was blowing out cold air when I had the heater on.
Right.
Took it in, they looked at it, popped the hood, and fixed it within a minute and a half. And I said, "What, you guys are amazing." What was it? A hose had popped off. A hose had popped off coming from somewhere.
Okay,
something.
there's vacuum hose that the door doesn't open and close. Okay,
so that's what happened. Popped the hose off.
This one, since she's saying the gauge, I don't think so, and she didn't complain about her heater. Okay, but that's one of the simple checks or whatever and stuff you can do.
All right, next question. This is from John. John says, "I've seen some as seen on TV products, like the one that claims to clear cloudy headlights."
I've seen those too. I'm excited for your answer on this.
Have you tried any of these, or are there any you would recommend?
You know, I've seen those advertisements too, and they do work, okay? But truthfully, you don't even have to order this online, okay? Every parts store just about has them anymore, and they carry a very good brand that they do work. I've had to do it on my own car. They don't use glass really anymore. They're plastic, and over time, the sunlight changes them or makes them a little bit cloudy and stuff. And so, yeah, I've had to do that on my car, the wife's car, especially since I drive an older car, okay? You know, I'm not one of these guys that trade a new one every 3 or 4 years or something, you know, so mine, let's see, 2016, it's 20 years old, the car I'm driving.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
You know, so, you know, like I said, I drive an old car, but I've had to do it a couple times. It works good, the products. I usually, of course, I'm not really an internet guy, okay? I like go get my hands on it and touch it. I like going down to the parts store, saying hi to the guys and go pick up, and, you know, they'll advise you which one works a little better or something like this, and also which one might be a little bit better value, okay? Some of them might be a little overpriced and some of them a little cheaper, and you can save some money and still get a good product.
Let me ask you this: do you find that it made a difference in the intensity of the light, like after you did it to your own cars?
Without a doubt. When you clean them, I mean, your lights definitely get brighter. Okay, it definitely helps, and especially now with the wet roads and the dark. Okay, I mean, you got the snow a little bit reflecting, but you know, when it rains or something, or you know, the slush and the snow isn't white anymore, it's dark out there. Okay, and stuff. You know, a lot of times, as of course I'm getting older, you know, I like my high beams on. Not in town, okay,
right.
but I mean out on the roads where you know I never used to have them, but that's usually an indication, hey, your headlights might need cleaning up there more than just Windex or something.
I still think it's fascinating you're driving a 20-year-old vehicle. If I drove I mean, you can do that when you know how to work on cars.
Okay,
I feel like if I had a 20-year-old vehicle, I'd be taking it into the shop every other week.
Well, you know, trick to that is good maintenance on a regular routine. I mean, stuff does break once in a while. It's kind of staying up on top of it. You know, what happens on an older car, people let that go, let that go, let that go. Next thing you know, you got a bill this long, okay, and you say, oh, well, it ain't worth fixing anymore.
Might as well just buy a new car if I'm going to be paying this.
And, you know, so.
We get it. 5 area locations for certified transmission. And a quick shout out. I don't know which shop it was, but one of our colleagues here hit something in the road and took it to certified transmission. And he said the crew there was amazing. And so he asked for your email address. He said, I want to send Peter a note because they were.
Always love to hear that.
I mean, he went from having the worst day to feeling like it was a great experience. So
That's
anyway,
awesome. That's
online, certifiedtransmission.com. Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.
And your question.